founder of Turquoise Mountain, a charity to preserve traditional art and architecture. خوشحالم که آقای روری استیوارت توانست در این برنامه با ما بپیوندد. او نامزد مستقل شهرداری لندن است. همچنین در گذشته به عنوان عضو کابینه، استاد دانشگاه و دیپلمات کار کرده است. آقای استیوارت همچنین بنیادگذار یک نهاد خیریه در افغانستان است که از هنر محافظت می‌کند. او همچنین کتاب نوشته در سفرش در سراسر افغانستان که با پای پیاده بوده. او با قدم زدنش ادامه داده، ولی این بار در خانه‌های مردم لندن این شهر که از زندگی آنها آگاه شود. Rory Stewart, please.
السلام علیکم. السلام علیکم. چطور هستید؟ خوب هستید؟ بخیر هستید؟ سلام علیکم. زنده باشید. Thank you very, very much indeed for having me. It's a great, great treat to be here. Particular thanks to Dr. Noor Nassimi for all the wonderful work, and indeed the wonderful work that's being done by ACAA for the whole community of London. It's an incredible example of kindness and generosity and support. For me, of course, this is a very, very special occasion. I feel very much at home. I met my wife in Afghanistan. We worked together in an NGO in Kabul. She's American, I'm British, but we met in Kabul. We worked in Murad Khani for nearly 6 years. And we were working on rebuilding traditional crafts and buildings. So Kandankari, we were working on calligraphy, on woodwork, on minaturi, on all the wonderful traditional crafts of Afghanistan, and we learned so much from the culture, from the farhang of Afghanistan, and felt so deeply the incredible contribution Afghanistan has made historically to the world and continues to make. Afghan art, Afghan poetry, Afghan architecture, and for me personally, a sense of Afghan generosity, of mehman nawaz, because I walked from Herat to Kabul by foot and alone, and every single day people put me up in their houses day after day after day after day. In fact, sitting here is somebody related to a man who very kindly had me in his house. Hello, very nice to see you. Assalamu alaikum, very nice to see you. So his brother Humayun very kindly looked after me as I was walking. I walked from Herat through Obey, Chishte Sharif, from Chishte Sharif to Chacharan, through Minare-Jam, to Yakalang, to Bamayan, and then I came down from Jalrez, Koti Ashru, Maidan Shah, and from Maidan Shah to Kabul. Every single night, Afghans of every different sort welcomed me into their homes, fed me, looked after me, and kept me going safely from one side of Afghanistan to the other with absolutely no problem. Nobody hurt me, nobody touched me, and I was completely alone. And that was due to the incredible kindness, strength, and generosity of Afghans. Now, of course, we're now all Londoners, but we're all Londoners in different ways. I'm a Londoner whose family, my ancestor was the Lord Mayor of London in 1360, so 550 years ago. But also like you, like many people in this room, I wasn't born in London. I was born in Hong Kong, and I came back to London when I was a baby. And I've lived in Afghanistan, I've lived in Pakistan, I've lived in India, I've lived in Nepal, I've lived in Indonesia. So I'm somebody who very much wants London to be the great international city of the world. And to be the great international city of the world, we need to invest in our younger generation. And that means we need to keep our cultures alive. And not just traditional British culture, but all the cultures of the world. There are 300 languages in London. And that is not a weakness, that is a huge strength for the future. If we can make sure that younger people in London are studying Pashto, are studying Dari, are studying Uzbek, and studying 300 other languages, this is the connection for their futures. These can be business connections for them, these can be cultural connections for them, these can be educational connections for them, that benefit London, benefit the education of London, benefit the economy of London. So one of the fundamental things that I would like to do as Mayor of London is to invest in community language services. Right? Make sure that the money of the Mayor of London goes into that. In addition to that, though, there are other basic foundations that we must put in place for London. Very sadly, London is not safe enough. It's not safe enough. It's a very sad thing for me to say as somebody who comes from Kabul. I did not expect to come to London and say, London is not safe enough. But it isn't safe enough. The murder rate in London, sadly, is at the highest level in 11 years. People are being robbed in their houses, they're being burgled, they're being mugged. We must make London safe. And that begins by putting police on the streets. You need to see the police. You need to know their names. You need to know their faces. You need to have their daytime telephone numbers. Everything begins by having a good, basic foundation of policing. Then we need to invest. We need to invest in youth clubs, in youth services, in our young people, in our schools. And we can do it. Right? It's not so difficult to do. They reduced crime in Glasgow. They are reducing crime in all the other cities in England. They reduced it in New York. We can do it in London. We can do it easily within 2 years. We can make the city much safer. But we need a mayor who wants to do something. Right? We want a mayor who takes action. Right? This job is not about talking. It's a job about doing things. Right? So I'm very lucky in my life. I was in the army. I was a diplomat, I've been a minister. I run things, I do things. For example, in Murad Hani. When I arrived in Murad Hani, the garbage was nearly 2 meters deep in the streets. The rubbish was nearly 2 meters deep in the street. I didn't talk. I didn't do a strategic plan. I just started clearing the garbage. We took 23,000 trucks of garbage out of the old city of Kabul in 1 year. Right? We built a clinic, we built a primary school, we restored 160 buildings, we brought water supply in, we brought sanitation in. We did businesses in the old city of Kabul that made $12 million a second. And we did it in 2 years, right? Not just talking, not just writing strategic plans, but acting, doing things, right? And that is, of course, what Afghans are unbelievably good at doing. Right, I say we, because it wasn't me, it was the Afghan community that did it. Right? Very quickly, very energetically, very actively. Not talking, not creating strategic plans, getting on and doing it. So we need a London where people get on and do things. We need to support small businesses. We need to make our streets safe. We need to create affordable housing. Right? The housing in London is not affordable. People cannot afford to rent their housing. And we need to do it for young people, we need to do it for older people, we need to have the right housing for older people, and we need to make sure that these things, we don't just talk, but we do them. For example, in London, at the moment, the Mayor of London has 5,500 acres of land through Transport for London, which we can build affordable housing on, right? In Earls Court, in South Kensington, in White City, there is a lot of land. We should use this land to build affordable housing for the people of London. We can start straight away. Right? There's no reason why we can't do this. Because I learned most of what I learned as a government servant. I'm not really a politician, I'm a government servant. Right? I believe in serving people, and I learnt it in Afghanistan, from Afghans. I felt so lucky. My life was changed in Afghanistan by your generosity, your courage, your Afghanness, right, is what inspired me as a man. It was incredibly important for me. My values were formed in Afghanistan. So thank you so much for everything that you've taught me, and I very much hope that we can work together.
I think we are very, very honored and very pleased to have such a great politician, great speaker, and hopefully will be the greatest mayor of London in a very near future. Looking at the Rory history and background, he made a huge contribution for Afghanistan. As he said that he was involved in building clinics, cleaning the city, and helping the reconstruction program for the past 19 years since the involvement of British or NATO in 2001. And we strongly believe that he can do better in London if he becomes the mayor of London. Personally, for me, as the founder of the charity, it is a great honor, as I said. I'm so pleased to see, to be honest, it's not just in Afghanistan, even in Britain, sometimes it's not easy to see British politicians traveling from Westminster to Hounslow or Feltham and visiting the community. So having Rory today at the new center, the first Afghanistan and Central Asian Association Center, which was launched a few months ago in West London after 20 years of contribution, helping the community to promote integration and British values. Is a great honor to have Rory today at the Afghanistan and Central Asian Association, and hopefully if he becomes the mayor of London, he can support the people of Afghanistan, how they can improve their inclusion, participation, how they can improve the local representation in local politics. The people of Afghanistan, unfortunately, until now, we don't have a strong local representation in the British politics. And hopefully by Rory becoming the mayor of London, things will be improved for the benefit of the wider community as well as for the benefit of the people of Afghanistan. I wish you every success. Thank you very much.
Yes, any questions? So yes, there's a microphone coming to you, sir. 1 second. There's just for the gentleman here. Just the gentleman standing up. Yeah. Here we are. This is a very, very big community. This is a community with so many skills, with strong education, with strong work ethic. There is no reason why the Afghan community should not be very dominant in English politics. It's one of the most important communities here in London. But not enough Afghans are registered to vote. Not enough Afghans are organizing. Right? This is absolutely an election that we can win. And to be honest, whether or not I become mayor will be hugely dependent on Afghan votes. Right? There are potentially tens of thousands of Afghan votes. This election will be decided probably by about 100,000 votes. Right, in the end, when we get to the second round, because this electoral system is not like the normal first past the post system. Even if I come second in the first round, so let's say Sadiq gets 40%, I get 35%, all the other candidates are then knocked out, and their second preferences are reallocated. So I would then take the Conservative votes, and I would win in the second round. But it will be decided by about 100,000 votes. In other words, it will be decided by Afghan votes. You have a lot of power. Please vote. Thank you.